For the past 6 years, the PlayStation 4 has been the home of hundreds of incredible games, dozens of amazing, exciting exclusives, and the PS4 has been home not just to massive AAA titles, but also really unique and fascinating indie games as well. As you can tell from the title, today I'm going over the 25 top highest rated games on the PS4 console. I do have to say though, some of your favorites might not be in this list. These are games that have been taken from Metacritic. Metacritic gathers together the dozens of reviewer scores, whether it's an indie title or a massive AAA title, and they average out the scores, and these are going to be the highest rated games on the PS4, top 25. I definitely have some honorable mentions I want to go over with you guys really quick. First and foremost, we have in at number 83, number 83 of the highest rated game, we have Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. And of course, this was a series, you know, the Uncharted games on the PlayStation 3, the Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, those ones were super high. This collection didn't score as high, but the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection got an 86 out of 100. In at number 70, we have Marvel's SpiderMan, which has a Metacritic score of 87 out of 100, and still to this day, this is a PS4 exclusive, and who knows if this one will be launched or come eventually on the PlayStation 5. In at 41, we have Horizon Zero Dawn, which got pretty close to the top 25. Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm super surprised too that this one isn't in the top 25, but it has a score of 89 out of 100. And so if you think about dozens and dozens of reviewers, you know, I think most of those reviewers gave the game at least a 9 out of 10 or 90 out of 100. And there were some jokers who, you know, ended up, for I don't know if they wanted to get clicks or to get some type of drama going, definitely rated it below 9 out of 10, whether they gave it a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. But Horizon Zero Dawn, 89 out of 100, that's really, really impressive. In at number 25, we have Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, and this one has a score of 90 out of 100. This one has been out a little while, but in comparison to most of the games in this list, Sekiro is definitely a newer title when compared to most of those games, even though it's been out, I believe, more than a year, but 90 out of 100, very, very impressive. In at number 24, we have Monster Hunter World, which also has a 90 out of 100, and this one sold like crazy. It'll be interesting to see what Capcom has next. Of course, they'll start releasing DLC and things for Monster Hunter World, but what is going to be the next step? Because this is in fact one of the best-selling games ever for Capcom. It exceeded all expectations for them. In at 23, we have the indie title Fez, and Fez also has a score of 90 out of 100. This one's been out for quite a long time. It's been available on many different platforms and consoles and devices, and again, it also has a 90 out of 100. And at 22 is one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 4, and that is Rayman Legends. Super fun co-op, very colorful, very charming. If you have not picked this one up and you have a PS4, if you're even just slightly into platformers, do yourself a favor and pick it up. Rayman Legends, you should be able to pick it up for pretty cheap, and it is super, super worth it. In at 21, we have another indie title, and that is Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight also has a 90 out of 100, and this is another game that's been out for many different platforms. In number 20, we have the mega blockbuster Overwatch, and of course the sequel, the official sequel for Overwatch was recently announced. Overwatch, super popular. There's a huge cult following for it, and many people are still playing that game till this day, and imagine the cult following for this title is super, super excited for the sequel. In at number 19, we have another game that was published by Blizzard, and that is Diablo III. Of course, recently, again, another sequel. Diablo 4 was recently announced. Lots of controversy as far as Blizzard goes, and we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure this is going to be a quality title. There's always been a huge following, a big fan base for all of the Diablo games, and if they could just kind of stay within the same formula and maybe expand upon it a bit, they'll have a surefire hit on their hands. In number 18, we have the indie title Flower. Flower is actually a game that officially launched or originally launched on the PlayStation 3. And very interesting because it was only available on the PS3, only available on the PS4, and now it's actually available on Steam. Super, super relaxing game, very ambient, calming music. It's definitely not your average game, action-packed first-person shooter. It's a great game. I really enjoy Flower. And so Flower has a Metacritic score of 91 out of 100. In at number 17, we have Resident Evil 2, which in fact was released this year, has also a score of 91 out of 100. And it's just been doing amazing things. You know, Capcom seems to be on a roll lately. They've had a very, very good year this year. What games will they maybe give similar treatment to RE2? We'll have to wait and see. In at 16, we have one of my favorite games on the PS4, and that's NieR Automata. This is the Game of the Year edition. It got a 91 out of 100, and I'm super happy I got the chance to play it. A very thought-provoking, interesting storyline. And I think actually it did okay sales-wise. You know, they had this Game of the Year edition. Lots of reviewers fell in love with it. It's got a 91 out of 100 for the Game of the Year edition. And super happy to go back and play that game again. In at 15, we have the indie title Inside, which also has a 91 out of 100. There's a lot of different indie titles that are released, not just every year, but month after month. There are literally, you know, thousands and thousands of indie titles to kind of look over and check out. This one definitely stood up and above the crowd. It definitely has a simplistic look to it, but scoring very well with gamers and reviewers alike. In at 14, we have another indie title, Celeste, which also has a 91 out of 100. It's got a very charming pixel art style to it, and I haven't had the chance to spend a whole lot of time with this game, but the only thing I've really heard is that this game is super, super challenging, and this is a game that's definitely compelled a lot of people as far as speed running goes, and you know how quickly they complete different areas. And I definitely need to go back and give it another try. In at 13, we have Shadow of the Colossus, which also has a 91 out of 100. You know, here's a title that was originally released on the PS2, then it got released on the PS3, now it's released on the PlayStation 4, and it's honestly one of the best looking games on the PS4. Time will tell if PlayStation will eventually release a new version, like what, I don't know, like 4K, 8K, I don't even know, but a new version of Shadow of Colossus, the same one on the PlayStation 5. Time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's definitely a super high scoring game. I remember when it was launched on the PS2, and back then even, you know, it was really really popular. It was well talked about, and reviewers could not get enough of it, this unique title. In number 12, we have Divinity Original Sin 2, which has a Metacritic score of 92 out of 100. The first one and the second one, Divinity Original Sin, these are games that originally were released on PC. They were super, super popular on PC, and they were able to bring them to consoles, and they've been able to grab a whole new audience and a whole just up their level of success, because gamers, whether they were playing this one on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, fell in love with this RPG. And so yeah, 92 out of 100, very, very impressive for an RPG. In at number 11, we have another RPG, this one super open world, super huge, and that is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which has also a 92 out of 100. And of course, now the great thing about getting it today is you have the Game of the Year edition, which you can buy the Game of the Year edition for a really low price. You're not only getting this massive open world game, but you're getting all the additional expansions and DLC for a really, really low price, which is really fantastic. Okay, so in at number 10, we have the much talked about indie title Undertale. Undertale has a score of 92 out of 100. I mean, you can get this game on so many different platforms. You can even get Undertale on the Nintendo Switch. Time will tell what will be in store. Will this game get released on the PlayStation 5, the next Xbox? probably, but this one is done very, very well, not just with reviewers, but gamers as well. Although I will have to say though, if there's a game that kind of has like opposing sides, it would be this one. Lots of people, lots of gamers really love Undertale, but there's lots of gamers think that this game is super overrated and that people are just giving it more praise than it deserves. For those of you guys that have played Undertale, which camp are you in? Do you think it's overrated or do you love it? Think it's one of the, some people are saying it's like one of the best games they've ever played. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts on Undertale is. And at number 9 is still to this day one of my favorite PS4 games, definitely in my top 10 of favorite PS4 titles, and that is Bloodborne. Bloodborne also has a score of 92 out of 100. I remember when this game got released, and I got it during, I think I got it on launch day, fell in love with it. It was punished by the difficulty, but was so intrigued and fascinated and kept coming back for more, for it being able to explore and check out these really interesting, unique, creepy, morbid areas. It was just crazy little areas and small little nuances with the things. If you like walk up to like a door, like the interactions that you had were very, very unique and cryptic. But I've talked about this before. Bloodborne's a game I want to definitely go back and play again very, very soon. And at number 8, we have Journey, which has a score of 92 out of 100. This is another game that was originally released on the PlayStation 3 and for one reason or another, I'm going to be honest, I've never had the chance to play Journey yet. I know most of you guys, or a lot of you guys that are watching this, have had the chance to play Journey. So that's definitely one on the list that I need to play very, very soon. 92 out of 100. And a lot of you guys have talked about this before and told me about it, so I'll have to check it out. And at number 7, we have Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, which has a score of 93 out of 100. And I could totally see down the road, I know which direction Sony's going to go, but with the PlayStation 5, is Sony just going to grab all of the Uncharted games, the Lost Legacy, the Vita game, and the trilogy games that were on the PS3 and brought to the PS4? Are they going to bring all the Uncharted games, like Uncharted 4 and everything else, and put it in one package on the PlayStation 5? That'd be actually kind of cool, but we'll have to wait and see. But 93 out of 100, super, super impressive. In number 6, we have Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which also has a score of 93 out of 100, and it's done very, very well on all the different platforms, whether it's on consoles or on PC, and just a really smash hit. In at number 5, we have Persona 5, which also has a score of 93 out of 100. And I've talked about this so much before, but if you guys have a PS4, if you're into RPGs, check this one out. This one is, of course, available also on the PlayStation 3. But by far, the lion's share of people who bought Persona 5 bought it on the PlayStation 4. An amazing, vibrant, exciting, massive RPG. This isn't one that's you're gonna be able to finish in 5 to 6 hours. And if you're up for that, definitely check it out, because the great thing is not only is it an amazing RPG, right now you can get it at an amazing price. And as I've mentioned before, a lot of stores are selling this one at deep discount levels during Black Friday. So definitely check out Persona 5. In number 4, we have the PS4 exclusive God of War, which has a Metacritic score of 94 out of 100. And what's on the minds of many gamers who have played through this one is, what is Sony going to do on the PlayStation 5? What is in store for the next installment for God of War? And if you think about it, it would actually be perfect timing. Whatever's going to take place during the summer, what type of announcement or E3 or whatever's going to happen with PlayStation, talking about the PlayStation 5, this would be a wonderful opportunity to go, here's the next installment for God of War, and this is what you can be expecting on the PlayStation 5. So that's my take on that. And at 3, we have The Last of Us Remastered, which has a score of 95 out of 100. Definitely a great game to pick up with the sequel coming out very, very soon. In at number 2, we have GTA 5, which has a score of 97 out of 100. And who would have thought that probably like the best-selling game last generation on like the 360 and the PS3 has also been the best-selling game on the PlayStation 4. I mean, you want to talk about printing money, Rockstar. And speaking of printing money, in at number 1 is Red Dead Redemption 2. The highest rated game, Red Dead Redemption 2, also has a score of 97 out of 100. You can get this game right now, of course, on the PS4, Xbox One. Not too long ago, it was also released on the PC. So I mean, you're thinking like, oh man, it beat out GTA 5. The thing is Rockstar is thrilled because whether you buy number 1 or number 2, as far as the highest rated PS4 games, you are bringing them some cash. So hats off to Rockstar for not only being able to sell a lot of games, but also be able to have games that review very, very highly. Because that's the thing, you do definitely have occasionally games that don't review that highly that sell very, very well. And then you might have games that review very, very highly and they just kind of like don't meet expectations or kind of sell poorly. That definitely is the case sometimes. But there you go, guys. The top 25 highest rated games on the PS4. Let me know what some of your favorite PS4 games are, guys, and what games you're kind of disappointed were not in this list. But hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you later.